or it's just driver updates.
True.
And just make things run better.
Sad, what's going to happen is when we start, Caleb, since he's hosting the show tonight, he's going to make his
I
introductions.
We're live.
Go ahead, man. Do your thing.
What up, everybody? Is Spilt or Spilt Milk. I'm here with erock8150 and Sad. Is that what we're going by? Or
just call me. Yeah,
just call me Sad.
all right. Erock, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is your boy erock8150, the Don King of Xbox, and as always, it's fantastic to be here. As the Let's Talk Games podcast is tonight being hosted on NSD Spilt's channel, and folks, we got a surprise tonight. After a year, Sad is back. Sad is back. So I am in no way responsible for what happens to this show tonight. So just bear with us. We may have some guests coming in later, joining us halfway through, but Spilt, let's get right to it, buddy.
All right, so...
I don't get an intro?
Oh, my bad. Sad, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. I'm Sad and stuff, and I don't know. 8th Gen gaming is shit.
Here we go.
So what do you guys want to talk about first? The delays or the... What are we going to call it? Push forward?
Well, we're still talking about delays. Let's listen. Any game that's announced, there's just gonna be expect delays.
Well, according to an article, Gears is actually getting an earlier release date. I don't know what to call it, push forward but it's getting released.
The Gears collection?
Not the Gears collection. That was released last year.
Well, they're releasing the Gears collection on PC soon, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
From other rumors, MSI did some sort of weird advertising for Bloodborne, and it's got everybody super confused whether or not it's actually going to PC now or not. But if it does, that's on mine because I don't have a PlayStation.
Wait, so they're gonna put Bloodborne on PC?
That's not a guarantee, but MSI advertised
if they
for their motherboard.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool because if they did put that game on the PC, it wouldn't be a slideshow and it'd actually be playable.
Ooh, do you actually get to play it on the PlayStation?
I haven't really played much on the PlayStation other than Far Cry 4 and I played Far Cry 4. I don't know, it was at my friend's house and I unplugged it to play the PS3.
Yeah, my friend Morgan brought Bloodborne over, and I was like, I'm not sure. I probably suck at this. I can't play anything near Dark Souls, and it was gorgeous. It was running really nice, and I don't know about how later in the game though, but it was a joy. And,
you like Bloodborne?
Oh yeah, I don't have a PlayStation, so I'd be very
okay.
happy playing the PC. Now,
so would it be a game that you would get a PS4 for?
Well, if it's coming to PC, no. But
well, if it's coming to PC.
Yeah, but there's actually a lot of things that are really making me want to grab a PlayStation 4. But in my house, you can only have 2 consoles, and right now I have the Xbox and the original Wii.
The original Wii? Whoa,
yes.
Dude.
I'm not getting rid of that. No way. I've got.
Well, I don't think you can get rid of that.
That was a great console.
Yeah, I had Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, which I feel like was the best game on the Wii. And then
Have you ever played Mad World? Mad World was a fantastic game on the Wii.
No, I didn't get a chance.
That did look good. It had that weird black and red art style. Yeah, that looked good.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even the art style that was so good. You get to get points for killing people in different ways.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Violence on the Wii console.
Yeah, mega violence. You need mega violence.
And it went under everybody's radar.
It did alright. It didn't do too bad.
Yeah, I don't mind the delay so much, Caleb, Spilt. I don't mind the delay so much if they're going to have the games perfect or damn near perfect when they come out. Mm-hmm. It's just, I was telling somebody else in a chat room somewhere, I've just never seen this many delays ever. And someone corrected me and was like, well, there was delays in the 7th generation of consoles, last generation. And I said, I don't remember this many delays. I just don't. But I mean,
I don't ever remember. Okay, so coming from my background, and I know I was being hypocritical earlier about, if it went to PC, because I'm really upset about Xbox games going to PC. But in the end,
well, why does that make you upset? Why does that make you upset?
Because honestly, I've already paid for my Xbox, and if the games that I got it for are going to PC, that was just a complete waste of money.
How do you figure that?
Because if they're on PC, where I have a GTX 965M inside of it, it's going to run better than what's in my Xbox.
That's debatable. I mean, like, I have a PC myself, and, like, sometimes games just don't really run good. Well,
Batman.
I also have the top-of-the-line CPU.
Well, Batman's been fixed, like, for a while. I don't know why people keep talking about that. But, I mean, like, I mean, if a game comes on the Xbox and the PC, I mean, the only thing that really happens is you just get more sales. I mean, yeah, there's some people who will think, oh, it's the reason to get the Xbox. But, like, I'm just going to be real. Like, there's just some people who just should not have a PC, and they're just, console people. And there's, like,
those who have,
the whole issue of travel. Like, I don't know, like, if you've ever, moved around as much as I have in the last year, but,
nope.
You can't exactly take a fractal Defiant R4 all over the goddamn place, without spending a lot of money.
Yeah. But back to what I was saying. From where I come from, I did not know that there was a whole social thing between gaming. It was just someone came over to your house and you played video games. Like my best friend Morgan, we played Pikmin on the GameCube, and then we played Medal of Honor, split screen, 1v1 on the PlayStation 2. And then I moved to the Wii. It got a little bit more social. I mean, like you could send your friends messages, and I was blown away by that, even though Xbox had been doing that for years.
Well, since 2003, right?
Yeah. And Wii came out, 2005, I think? Or
2006. 2006. It was 1 year after the Xbox 360.
And I was, almost completely blown away by that, and how Metroid Prime 3 had such, amazing graphics. I was, jaw dropped. And, then all this stuff came around, social gaming, and then I was like, oh, what's this? And then that's when I got introduced in the console war, and then things kind of got a little bit negative for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really knew too much about the console war, or getting back to delays. I didn't really notice delays.
I didn't even know that
in games. Well, no, there's been a lot of delays at the end of the 7th generation of gaming, and then now it's almost commonplace for everything, and it's kind of disgusting. I'm kind of I think what the companies and the the publishers do is they roll out these deadlines way early, right when they start on the work in the game. Yeah, and they're just they're making this impossible deadline.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting expectations up. Yeah, and now there's just more delays than ever. Honestly, I wish they would just calm down on announcing games all the time.
Yeah, for me, I didn't know.
That's just never gonna stop.
I didn't even know a game was gonna come out until it was released. Chibi Robo, I saw a commercial about it and it had been released, and I was like, oh, that looks like fun. Went and picked it up.
Well,
same thing for Super Mario Sunshine. I never knew about delays. I didn't even hear about a game until after it was released or announced.
Well, that's because 10 years ago, most people didn't even have
and
yeah.
60. For me,
yeah, but
I joined late.
2000 to 2007, most people didn't even have access to the internet, but they had a game console. So that's why you wouldn't know about something unless you're at the GameStop looking at the pre-order book every day.
And now that we have this console war that's raging on, it won't stop. People are more aware of delays more than ever now because, the different factions want to have bragging rights about this is coming out next month, and look at our list of games, and look at our wall of games, including 1,000 indies. They want to have bragging rights for these games.
Man, it reminds me of like that one picture this one dude posted in this like gaming group. He's like, look at all these games, and there's just like for the Xbox One, there's just like 9 games. I'm like, yeah, that's a lot, bro.
Well, the other side of that picture is like 1,000 PlayStation games, and about 995 of them are like indies. And I'm like, bro, like, come on, man, like.
Well, the indie games that are also on the PC for like less money.
Yeah, exactly. That are coming to Steam for like $12, and they're using this as bragging.
$12? That's a little too much. You're more like $2.49, bro.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
$3 on all of Civ Revolution, or not Civ Revolution.
By the way, don't let anyone shit talk you like the Steam winter sales and summer sales.
They're actually
are like all bullshit. No, they're not.
For me, they are.
Like,
I've
man, they're like Steam sales will be like, oh well, this is what the game's worth anyway, or like, oh look, I can buy Brink for $1 on the 360, but it costs $10 anywhere else. But I mean, it'll obviously look a lot better and play better on the PC. I don't know why I brought up Brink.
True.
Brink is such a shit game.
Yeah, like for me, I got Space Engineers, I got Star Wars Republic Commando, Battlefront 2, all for what? $10?
Damn.
I got Metal Gear Solid 5 for free, and Fallout 4 for free. Because my best friend shared me her games.
Nice.
Family share, that's what it's all about.
Nice.
On your Xbox? Or on PC or whatever? How are you
PC.
Yeah.
I game on my shitty PC. Well, it's not shitty PC, but it's like it's alright. It's alright. It's better than the consoles. I'll put it to you like that.
Yeah, I just got a brand new PC and I'm really starting to game with it. Like,
it's a laptop, right?
Yeah, it's it has a GTX 965M inside of it, and I'll tell you this, it's better than what's in the Xbox.
You know what the Xbox is, right?
It has
it's an AMD APU based off the Bonnier.
It's
Bonnier.
Correct.
Yeah, it's integrated, but it's not like a norm. Like it's an APU.
Integrated. Yeah, I know. But
yeah, so it's like it's a Bonnier GPU, so it's like a 7790 in there.
Yeah.
And that's not a really good card. Like the PS4 runs off like pretty much what's essentially a 7850. Huh?
Doesn't it also use an APU?
Yeah, it uses like something based off the 7850.
Yeah,
but like everything else is the same after that.
The huge mistake that was made is they used mobile chips instead of desktop chips. I know you got to keep them small, but the Xbox One has so much space.
Well, it's not that you got to keep them small. It's not that you got to keep it small. It's you got to keep things running cool.
True, but the Xbox One is so big and it has so many vents that they should have stuck a desktop CPU in there, and they could have still had room for the desktop GPU, or at least a mobile hybrid GPU, so it could run sync with the desktop GPU that's in there.
You mean they should have spent more money and got something a lot better than what they put in there? I agree.
Well, you probably wouldn't even have to spend more money to get something better. I'm just saying.
Debatable. I mean,
They made certain compromises that they didn't need to make, and
well, they thought that they could sell people NFL Sunday ticket on a game console. So,
well, here's the thing. I was having this discussion earlier. You in any business, you have to move forwards. You don't move back.
Yeah.
And I understand. I was a PC gamer once. I had a PC back in 2000, and I used to play Unreal Tournament and Citizens, Giant Kabuki, and games you guys never heard of. And you know what? As soon as I got my PlayStation 2, I never touched that PC again. Guys, let me explain this to you. There's guys that are PC gamers like Sad and Kid Smooth who just bought a new rig. Then there's guys like me who, when I come home from work or I come home from wherever, I just want to fire up my console and play video games.
Simplicity.
And what Microsoft tried to do is they were answering guys like me, the metrosexuals, the tech guys who's like, look, man, I don't want a game console. I want to watch YouTube. I want to watch YouTube on my console, then Netflix, and then fire up Halo 5. That's what Xbox does. And the thing about this whole thing about people still talking about, well, you know, the Xbox doesn't have enough power. My argument has always been how you mitigate that is, instead of worrying about these damn multiplats, I know you want to stay competitive in that space. Instead of worrying about these damn multiplats, you do what you do best. Microsoft, you do Halo best. You do Forza Horizon 2 best. You do Sunset Overdrive best. Concentrate on that. Don't worry about it. You're not going to have PlayStation, Xbox. You're not going to have the best running version of Call of Duty as long as the PC's out there.
I beg to differ with that, because if you play Call of Duty on the PC...
Well, here's the difference. I don't want to go too far. Guys, what's happening is this nuclear arms race of chips and 1080p and processing power is getting us nowhere when you're getting games like I had no designs on getting Batman Arkham Knight. It looked like another fucking Batman game. Great games, but I played it twice already. What's the point of all of this power if you're not going to innovate? And as much as people shit on Nintendo, at least Nintendo has an identity. They know who they are. And when that next Mario game comes out, it's going to be fun for the entire family. It's going to look great, and it's not going to be fucked up. It's not going to have bugs. So I think Microsoft, PlayStation, and PC gamers, you're
not going to give Splatoon its credit. Come on, man, Shooter of the Year.
I haven't.
Come on, Splatoon, best game ever, man.
I've heard great things about Splatoon. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I will sing the praises of Nintendo all day.
You should see like some of the fan art for Splatoon. Like a lot of people really want to fuck those Inklings.
Oh geez, why wild card, man?
Right, I agree.
Splatoon community is based.
I agree with you. You rock to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. But you see what Nintendo did, like with the Wii U. They were doing their own thing, yeah, and they got all these great games coming out. But what they did is almost might be the end of them. If this next console that they've got doesn't do well, they're gonna end up like Sega.
But now, Spill. Now, Spill.
I don't know.
Sony or
now, Spill. I don't want to interrupt you, but you do. I don't know if it's changed. There was more. You guys do realize Nintendo has like 8 billion yen in the bank. I don't even know what the fuck a yen is.
8 billion yen is not a lot of money.
Not a lot of money.
Well,
that's maybe a couple million.
Let me put you in. Like a few million yen will buy you a shitty car.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm incorrect with that, but I do believe that Nintendo has enough money to research and develop consoles for the next, 20 years. They are not hurting for money. You guys know that.
They might not be in a financial situation like Sony, but they're not doing like.
I think they sell enough Amiibos and 3DSs to do okay.
But I
think they'll be fine.
Afloat.
Afloat? I'd say they're pretty comfy right now.
So since we segued into that, Spill, what are your thoughts on? I think it's the Nintendo. What's this next console called?
NX.
It's not going to be called the NX, but that's the name of the project.
That's just its name.
It's a really terrible project name.
What are your thoughts on it?
From what I've heard, and I'm getting a lot of my thoughts from Rich Review Tech USA. So as long as they make it at least comparable, they don't have to make it the most powerful thing on the market, but if it's comparable and they manage to get their own thing with it, I think it'll do great. I might get another Nintendo console, like, because GameCube is where it was at for me, and Nintendo has pretty much been there for pretty much most of my gaming life. Like, I was still playing games that were releasing on the GameCube in like 2006.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember they still had like 2 or 3 games, like the Avatar: The Last Airbender that was releasing around that time, and I was still playing on those. And
With
same
the
goes for PlayStation 2.
the quickest. Are you talking about the quickest 1,000 gamer score ever game?
No, I'm talking about like stuff on the GameCube. Like, I was still
Okay.
playing that stuff for the longest time. Nintendo, as long as they do Nintendo, they at least try to compete correctly.
Nintendo is always going to have their following and fan base, so I don't really think they have too much to be worried about. Like, I don't really have any thoughts as far as the NX goes because there just aren't any thoughts to really have about it except what it may be. But I mean, like, I'm hearing like all kinds of stuff, like, oh, it's going to be like a mobile device, or like a hybrid or some weird thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything until I see more, or at least anything about it. So that's how I feel.
I just think it's crazy. I mean, they got to do what they got to do, but I just think it's crazy to, the Nintendo Wii U is still out there. I mean, I know purportedly it's not selling as well as they would have liked, but if you're a diehard Nintendo fan, you bought the Wii U.
The Wii U.
You gotta.
The Wii U has done awful.
But you gotta kind of be pissed like that. I mean, the Wii U just came out 2012?
It came out in 2012 and it had slower RAM than the 360.
Yeah. Well, actually, did it?
Yeah, it had slower RAM that was used in the 360 and the PS3. I remember like looking at something saying like these were the specs that like EA wanted when Nintendo was like asking around, hey, what do you want in the console? And yeah, so that was like a reason why it was the way it was. But like in 2012, you're coming out with something like, it's barely more powerful than the current consoles that have been out for like 7 years. You're just not doing it, man.
You're not doing the right thing.
But I mean, like, it has games on it. Like, there's some pretty good games on it.
Like, Splatoon runs at a solid 1080-60, which is really impressive.
Well, they have most of their games run at 1080-60.
On the Wii U?
Yeah, on the Wii U, because like they're not demanding games. I mean, look at Mario Kart 8. There's not much that's really going on in that game.
True, but
it's not like it's playing Skyrim.
But you also have optimization in mind. Like, when you do nothing but develop for one piece of hardware for the longest time, you get better at. Like, look at the games on the 360. They didn't always look so, great. They were mediocre. Or
have you played Dragon's Dogma?
No, but this is coming
okay. So if you ever played Dragon's Dogma came out around the end of the life cycle for the 360.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, you're gonna find tricks and stuff how to make the game work, but you're gonna deal with at the end of the day. You're gonna have low frame rates because this is really, really old hardware and it's not that powerful anymore. So like when you played, any like newer title. Like Dragon's Dogma would just like die. Like any like I remember I was playing Nier over the summer and like the frame rate on it was really bad. And this was like coming from playing like Metro Last Light, I'm getting like 50, 60 frames a second.
Yeah.
So it's like, good God, my slideshows.
Yeah, like Titanfall on the 360 didn't even reach.
I mean, even the Xbox One and PS4 are starting to reach like slideshow levels. I was like playing Far Cry 4 on the PS4, and it was like becoming a slideshow at points, like when there's a lot of stuff going on.
I've never had that on the Xbox One. I've never really. The only games I've truly experienced.
I'm sure if I find the right game, I'll show you some slideshows.
The slideshow, State of Decay. That was an absolute slideshow on the Xbox. Then you've got.
Wait, that game that came out like a long, long time ago.
On the 360, yeah, but it still has its own frame rate issues.
Yeah.
from what I know, Dying Light had issues. World of Tanks had issues.
Well,
Fallout
Dying
had
Light was a
issues.
piece of poopy.
And then Unity, we're not even going to talk about that. That was just a mess altogether.
My face, where is it?
Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah, the game without the face,
Yeah.
with the eyeballs.
It took me a while to get that.
Oh, you know what the worst part about that game was with Unity? I know this is like such old stuff, but like the fix when the game came out was for you to like disconnect your system from the internet, and then the game would run fine.
Same
Like,
thing,
fuck you,
know,
Ubisoft.
to Connect as well.
I'm serious. Don't buy any Ubisoft games. Like, stop it.
I actually
Stop giving them money.
Ubisoft is actually on the top of my list for developers, believe it or not, along with
They're not a developer. They're
well, they're a publisher, but they do have. My point is, EA, Square Enix, and Ubisoft are all on the top of my list because Final Fantasy, and then I used to get my old sports games from EA, and
all those three companies you listed. They're all on my shit list, except for you know, screw Square Enix. They're all on my shit list. Every developer and publisher is on my shit list.
The reason why
I'm looking at you, Valve.
The reason why Square Enix even made that list is because Life is Strange and Final Fantasy. Other than that,
Have you played Life is
else-
Strange?
Yeah, it's a great game. It has a really good story. I'm not going to spoil it, but
There's been
I heard it gets really sad.
oh yeah, it'll make a grown man cry.
two people have
A grown
sworn
man.
have sworn by that game. And Life is Strange, I haven't played it, but that's just another case of no matter who the publisher is, it's all about the developer. I don't know who developed Life is Strange, but they must be a really great development studio.
Don't nod, but they had a really small budget. I think they had something like $33 million in comparison to
$33 million. That's a lot of money, man.
actually
Compared
game
to the
terms,
hundreds
that's very small. Like
these games are hundreds of
Shenmue
millions.
2, it had a $43 million budget when it first came out. Most games like Halo 5 have like a $200 million budget.
And they can't even make that stuff 1080p. What a shame! What a shame. No, but I don't know. Have any of you played Undertale?
Actually, no.
Well, that's a game that's been like really, really popular, at least on the PC side. And I mean, you'll just see like so much stuff about it. Like it's just like completely like taken over like the later part of last year, and and it's just like a top-down game made in like Game Maker. It's really simple, but like the way the game was made, it's just so popular. Huh?
You mean like what Minecraft did?
No, dude. No, this game's like 2D, like 8-bit.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, like the game kicks ass. Like I played a little bit of it, and it kept making me cry. So yeah.
Play the games that more or less.
Game's really
Me and Kids Move, we played a lot of Life is Strange. I actually was ahead of him until the last episode. I couldn't play the last episode because I got grounded. And
You get grounded. Oh no.
yeah.
Oh no, man.
When they take the Xbox, there's not much you can do.
You can draw on your table.
Pretty much. But
I don't know. That's what I've been doing. I've been making sketch drawings.
you play the games that are around your, how do I put this? Your style. Like for me, I like a game that tells a really great story. And Kids Move, he's first-person shooter. He likes story, but he's not for that as much as say I am. I don't know what E-Rock is. E-Rock, what are you for, more or less? For a game.
As far as games, as far as like what do I like to play?
Yeah, like story. You more for like bro shooters or?
No, I'm huge. I'm huge in the story. I could really give a. I'm different, man. I could really give a shit about the whole bro shooter thing. You know, the only thing that changed my mind about the bro shooter was Gears of War, but that was because at that time that was such a different and singular experience. The story sucked me in, but give me a good Fable, one, a game that just sucked me in, or a game like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, a game that just sucked me in. It took me to another world, and therein is why I really. There's been some surprises for the 8th generation. One of them being Sunset Overdrive, but like, I really wish, like, I don't know how I can explain it. I've enjoyed some of the games this generation, but this generation to me has really been a big fail, and it's not because of the things that every gamer is obsessed about, the 1080p and the power. Because all these great games we mentioned from our past, you never knew they were 720p and 480p. You never knew that. You never knew what the frames per second were. Now, Sad, just let me finish, Sad. Some douchebag.
I haven't said anything.
Yo, I know, but let me finish. Some douchebag at some site with a frame rate machine had to tell you what these frame rates of these games were, these resolutions of these games were, and suck you into this console war. And we have forgotten so much about what gaming is supposed to be. We are so far from that these developers now feel as though they have to appeal to the lowest common denominator or the biggest common denominator, which is what is everybody playing. It's a sad day when Call of Duty, which hasn't been good in years, Call of Duty is the #1 selling game for the holiday season. Like, what the hell? Star Wars Battlefront. And don't get it wrong. Star Wars Battlefront looks great, but according to the stories, it doesn't even have a third. It's just
Battlefield 4.
Yeah, it's not even
with a new skin.
Like it's like what has gaming become? Like it's getting to the point where I don't understand it no more. Maybe I've gotten out of touch, but
yeah, I don't know about that. But
these console makers like Nintendo. Say what you want about Nintendo. Nintendo plays to their strengths. What is Nintendo? And I'm always mentioning Nintendo.
Their games.
Nintendo's strength is not Call of Duty or Batman Arkham Asylum. Nintendo's strength is Mario, Donkey Kong, Super Smash Brothers. Microsoft, play to your strengths. If Sony is kicking your ass in the multi-plat space, then you should have
sell NFL Sunday ticket.
You should have. Well, come on, you should have doubled down on Blinks the Time Sweeper. You should have doubled down on, hey, Rare, we want you to make Banjo-Kazooie 3. Make it a true platformer.
Where's the Conquer game, huh? I was expecting a Conquer game. What happened?
Something, man. Something. Like, the double down on your...
It's like they bought out Rare and then just, like, said, you know what? You're not going to do nothing. You're just going to be, like, a little trophy in our study hall.
Well, Rare is working on a game called Sea of Thieves. It is highly anticipated, and they're doing what they should have always been doing. They are making Rare games.
It was their decision to actually be the Kinect studio.
That's right.
Microsoft, they made that decision. They're like,
why did they roll out the Kinect in the first place? That was so stupid.
Yeah,
they rolled out the. Well, we're going back in time, but they rolled out the Kinect because Sony and everybody lost their minds about the success of the Wiimote. That shit caught everybody in the industry by surprise. So they got their.
Look at me, I can play baseball.
Yeah, so everybody got the motion control kick, and it sold 18 million copies. But I mean, it just didn't work out. So you move on. You keep moving on, or else you become Sega. You move on.
You know what you need? You need to just copy Counter-Strike Global Offensive and just like roll out the game for $15 and make it really simple, have balanced gameplay, well, sometimes, and just like sell skins for guns, and like that's how you'll make your money.
Like Gigantic is trying to replace League, essentially. They're trying, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think you're gonna upseat League or Dota for a long time.
No.
I mean, like
that's their version of
New
it.
Earth, like you get Heroes of New Earth, and it's like a thing. But I mean, like you're not gonna upseat those games. Those games are just like they've been around for a long time, and they're just
there.
They're just always. I mean, like the original Dota was like a Warcraft mod, and like that was like so old.
So, gentlemen, next point of contention. Last week, the reports came out by the usual suspects: IGN, the GameSpot. Who else? The NPD numbers that I don't trust. That the PlayStation 4 has purportedly sold 35 million units,
36.
and the 36 million units, and the Xbox One has purportedly sold only 18 million units. Is this report?
Sounds about right.
Is this report erroneous or bullshit?
Like,
sounds about right.
To a certain degree, I think that's right. The Xbox numbers, I am not sure. Even though Microsoft has confirmed that they're over 20 million units. Like
exactly.
Why do we care about sales numbers?
We don't. We're just appealing to our other end of our audience. That's
well
I gotta know the sales.
because there's
how many sales of the 970 are out there? How many R9 390s are out there? You gotta know.
Nobody knows. But if you think about it, like, I can believe Sony's numbers. Like, the PlayStation 2 itself, I'm not referring to the PlayStation 4 yet, but the PlayStation 2 sold a lot. I think it was the number one selling of all time.
That's the number one selling console ever. Nothing will ever touch it. It is
136.
Retarded.
Yeah. And I think Xbox sales, how do I put this? Sony sales aren't as...
Sony sales are just...
They're exaggerated.
Also,
during December, they stated that they sold, what, 2 million, 2.3 or something? But then they come out and they say they sold over 5.7 million during that time period. And then Xbox says that they were up like 23% from last year, which they sold 1.3 million last year. So they're sitting around, what, 5 or 1.5 or 1.7 million this year. And VG has been predicting that they've been sitting around 13, 15 million. Something just doesn't add up, and
it doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense.
There's no.
According to those numbers, if those numbers are to be believed, that means that no Xboxes were sold in September, October, November, and December. We know that's not true. So
why would they lie about the numbers?
Well, number one,
Microsoft stopped releasing their numbers.
Exactly. I don't believe anything until Albert Pinello or Phil Spencer or Major Nelson.
Hey, how do you know they stopped releasing their numbers? What's your
They said it about 3 months ago, right? They said they stopped releasing their numbers.
And they're going to show Xbox Live users because they've got, like, what? They have the most active online player base or subscriber base in the world. Like, they have 58 million active users, like, daily on their on Xbox Live. I don't know anything that touches that. Maybe Twitter, Facebook. But the point is, they're going to show off their success. And the Xbox One, we all know, isn't selling very well. But it's not being sold to a 2-to-1 ratio, I'll tell you that.
Actually, the Xbox One is selling better. They said it's selling better than the 360 did at the same time. So
yeah, but it's not selling as good as its competition. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, that's an anomaly. We don't know what's going on there. I said in my video, I hate to be a dick, but who's buying these consoles? Like I still maintain, no offense.
The government's buying all the consoles. They're buying it because Obama's scaring them. He's on his console control. He's raising prices, man. He wants to get rid of the flea market loophole.
Sad. Question for you. last week, an article comes out from the Pro Sony Gaming Press. I forgot
Pro
the name
Sony
of the website.
Gaming Press? Was it, like, what do you mean?
Let me finish. A website comes out with a list of 2016's most anticipated games. On it are a couple of Nintendo Wii U games, several PS4 games, and no Xbox One games. Sad. Is the bias against the Xbox One real, or is it all in our imaginations? What are your thoughts?
It's all in your imaginations.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's out to get Microsoft. I mean, listen, like, it's not E3 2013 anymore. Like, I know, like, it was cool to make fun of Microsoft in 2013 because they're offering, like, really draconian shit on the Xbox One, and, you know, it's weaker and all that other stuff. But, I mean, like, that time has passed, man, and, you know, I don't think, you know, that's just the case anymore. Like, the thing is, like, the PS4 is just a console that everyone's been buying, and you can see it, like, with the whole Call of Duty endorsements and all that. So it's like, you know, the Xbox One's kind of just become, like, the second console. But, I mean, whatever.
I wasn't quite done, but from what I was talking about earlier, but I highly doubt this is happening, but I think a while ago, IKEA, or some furniture department, they were selling their furniture out, and they were selling it to the stores, but then again, they'd have another business go buy their stock, or not their stock, but their product, and
Right.
they bring it back to IKEA and just sell it again so they could boost their numbers.
Wow.
Make it look like they were a profitable business. I'm not sure if that was IKEA, but I know it was a furniture store that was doing that, so they would look profitable.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. You know, you can only make so much money when you're selling $1 bed sheets made in Ethiopia. I'm serious. I bought like, I'm not kidding. Like, that was a real thing.
Jeez.
You could buy like bed sheets is like $1, and they were made in Ethiopia.
600 threads.
That explains why IKEA stuff is so cheap. I'll never shop there again.
What we were talking about, this whole bias thing, to me, it's there to a certain extent. Like, I can understand hopping on the bandwagon, like, for maybe a football team. Like, you're not gonna go. Mia's gonna more or less promote one team, or, like, how do I put this? Your hometown or the state that you're in is not going to go promote, say, the Patriots, if, you know, the state's team is like something like the Steelers.
Yeah, I don't think the media is being like ESPN and, like, you know, the PlayStation is all Boston and New York based teams, but, you know, that's not happening. Like, there's no, like, media bias against the Xbox One. It's just,
I don't think it's against the Xbox One.
It's just how it is.
I just don't think they're against the Xbox One, but I don't think they're trying to even, how do I put this? Not promote, but they're not trying to look at it in a positive light either.
No, and I'm going to give Sad a free pass because Sad has been traveling back and forth across the country the last 3 months. But all you have to do is watch any IGN article or any GameSpot article, and you can see it. It's there. Anytime Ryan McCafferty, the Xbox guy for IGN, has an interview with Phil Spencer, and he mentions how the PS4 is selling. That's like, dude, are you serious? Are you for real?
But I want to actually bring something up. I don't think Ryan McCaffrey is biased against the Xbox, because he actually got in an argument with Yoshida on Twitter. It was a huge deal a little while ago. Yoshida was being a complete douchebag.
As usual.
And, well, I'm not even
as usual.
He's a CEO of a giant company. Of course, he's a douchebag.
Why you Sony fans worship him and his company that does not?
Hold up, guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me finish up here.
Yeah, sorry.
and he was like talking about what was going through Microsoft's head when Shenmue 3 was, bouncing around and Kickstarter and stuff. Did they just not offer them or talk to them at all? And then Yoshida responded saying something about him always being talking about the Xbox and why is that always on his mind, and he was being a complete douchebag about it. I can't remember exactly what was said, but and then he came out and responded saying, well, it's pretty much been my job because I'm sort of the head of Xbox at IGN, and I've been reading and doing stuff about them for 13 years. And eventually Yoshida did come out and respond, but with an apology, but you see what I'm getting at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ryan McCaffrey is more or less the least biased at all.
The Xbox guy is the least biased. You've heard it here first, folks.
Well, how do I put this? The least biased against the Xbox, or not biased against the Xbox at IGN.
I don't know.
We will all have to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Caleb, next subject.
VR.
Oh my God, sad. I know you can't wait to fill us in on this.
What are you
talking? I actually had
VR
experience with an Oculus a while back. I was at a friend of my mom's party, and he had a laptop that had it was really beefy. Let's put it that way. More powerful than any Xbox or PlayStation. It had a really high-end GPU. I think it was a 975 or 980M inside of it. And I put that thing on, and I was almost completely blown away by the demos. I was just what? But what was really off-putting was controls, and I don't get motion sick very easily. But after about an hour or two on that, I started getting really sick.
Well, VR is still in its early stages, but don't worry. In a few years, we will be living in the age of the waifu.
Matrix.
Soon you will get to fuck your 2D waifu.
On YouTube, there was a demo of Oculus Rift on a high-end PC, which is needed to run Oculus Rift. You're not just going to go out and buy Oculus Rift. You're going to need a very powerful PC. And on this Oculus Rift, powered by this PC, was running a racing game that I enjoy very much called Project Cars. And it was very immersive, being in that world and having that 360-degree view all around you. That was a huge selling point. Here's the huge scare-away point, $600. So the question is, who's going to buy Oculus Rift, and what will the PlayStation's Morpheus and Xbox's what is their Microsoft's HoloLens? Yeah.
There's also another one that Valve is rolling out with HTC. I mean, it's just the price you got to pay for being an early adopter, right? So I mean, the people who want the latest and greatest are obviously going to buy it.
Will this be the next Connect?
No, it's here to stay, and it's only going to get better because people want VR.
Really?
Yeah, this is something people want. It's going to stay. It's only going to get better because the money's there, and it's not just one thing. This is something that everybody's pushing for. So
you do know, of course, it's going to have to get down to mass adoption, and what that means today. $300, because we all saw what happened with the consoles. Nobody wanted to pay $500 for a console.
This isn't the 90s, right? So yes, it's going to be expensive right now. I mean, it's just
So from what I'm seeing,
right? Those were expensive for what they were back in 70s and the 80s, and eventually just price goes down, technology gets better. And eventually, that's what everybody has.
So don't buy Oculus Rift until, 2019?
Don't buy Oculus Rift or any type of VR unless you want it.
From what I'm seeing, Oculus is sitting at around 600, and PlayStation, I think it's, from what I'm seeing, I'm getting a bunch of prices for PlayStation, but Oculus was just a straight 600 from what I saw. PlayStation is either 600 or 300. I can't even tell. It's just a bunch of stuff. You guys correct me down in the comments, but from what I've been hearing, aside from what I'm looking at right now, PlayStation's VR isn't going to stand a chance because, one, Oculus is cheaper. Two, Oculus is going to be compatible on Xbox and PC.
Is there a confirmed price for the Morpheus?
Hold on. I don't think they're calling it Morpheus anymore.
Well, whatever it's called, is there a confirmed price of it?
I don't know. From what I keep looking, and
No,
Of it, like the
no.
imitation.
Knowing Sony, $1,000, and their fans will pay for it.
if it was on the PlayStation 2, I probably would pay for it.
I don't know. People are gonna buy it, but like
it's gonna be sold.
obviously what everyone's gonna get because
Oh, $800 price tag.
I told you. I was close.
I want to call you out on it, but I'm just gonna like not say anything right now.
Somewhere out there,
Obviously not.
Somewhere out there, Jabari Clark will justify that price tag. Sony fans will defend. He's going to justify it. I know it. That was a shout out to you, Jabari Clark, from the Sony Council. They are going to justify an $800 price tag. Oh my God! You got to be kidding me.
The console.
If it's
might
even
be that much.
$100 better than the Oculus Rift, get at me.
Speaking of.
Another thing is they were talking about it running at like 120 frames per second. And I'm just like, yeah, if you're gonna run PlayStation 1 games.
PlayStation 1 games are locked to 30 FPS.
I'm talking about visually. I'm talking about graphics.
PlayStation 1 games aren't even like. I'm saying like.
They run at like 24 FPS.
Yeah, they run really low frame rates and they're like locked at that. I mean,
But
like.
my point is you're gonna have a PlayStation 1 looking game.
Exactly.
Looking.
So you can play Doom at like 200 FPS. It's pretty rad.
120 FPS.
120 FPS for Doom.
Yeah, like honestly though, I applaud them for reaching that kind of frame rate, and apparently it's gonna be 1080p. But who cares? I run most of my games at 720p on my laptop, and I get like 60 to 100 frames per second. I rarely run my games at 1080. I only do that for like StarCraft 2 because frames per second doesn't really matter there. But I applaud them for going for that 120 FPS mark.
StarCraft. Answer my question.
Oh, go ahead, Sad.
What league are you in StarCraft 2?
It's been a while. I just started up again, but when I was playing, I was in the Silver League.
I'll destroy you.
Yeah, that StarCraft is sad. Shit, you've been promoting that game since the podcast began.
I'm Bronze League, okay?
I mean, but I'm trying to get back in Republic, Knights of the Old Republic.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's very late, but please welcome one of the great new YouTubers out there, the Welsh Gamer, BD Drew 1111. Dude, I'm so sorry it's so late, but how are you? Hold on.
You gotta put on that mic.
Hello there.
What's up?
Oh, gentlemen, I really do apologise for my late arrival. Technical difficulties.
Dude.
Full blame. I started late.
We apologize. You're joining us from the UK, and you're like 5 hours ahead of us. Folks, this is BD Drew 1111, the Welsh Gamer. We know it's late. We'll try to go over the last few topics, but thank you so much for joining us, and we'll try to get you in here earlier next time.
No, absolutely no problem, guys. I'm literally at your disposal whenever you need me.
Right.
Yeah. Spill really quick. What have we gone over so far? Because I forgot most of the subjects. We talked about. We talked about BD Drew. We talked about was there media bias against Microsoft's Xbox One console? Could I get your thoughts on that real quick?
We talked about older games and stuff like that. What were you going to say, Sad? I believe I interrupted.
Oh, no, mate, you can speak first, no worries.
There was, we had talked about a number of things. We talked about VR, we talked about how gaming is not what it used to be, and the nostalgia of older video games like Pikmin and Mario Kart and GameCube games, essentially, for me, because that's where I started.
Oh, right. No, well, absolutely, yeah. Well, you touched on one or two topics there that like brings me to my ultimate point, really. Like where you said about like gaming is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
And essentially, for me, whether you agree or not, I believe gaming. The reason it's sort of, in my opinion, falling in sort of like a dark slumber is because of the media. I mean, like, think about it. Years ago, you know, if a new game came out, like a new game cartridge, Mortal Kombat 2 or something like that, you know, you'd be excited for that game, and then when it did come out, you know, it'd be in the newspapers, like, out now, and you pick up your cartridge, and then you take it home, and it was just that game. It was just on that cartridge, and you know because the internet wasn't so massive then. It wasn't plastered everywhere, like, Mortal Kombat versus this versus that. Did you enjoy Mortal Kombat? You know, like, and slating it or bigging it up or media bias or anything like that. But nowadays, it's in everywhere. Any company's interest in the media to slap a versus label on everything, or did you enjoy this, or was it as good as the last, or blah. And frankly, for that reason, that's why gaming to date is not what it used to be, because of the media. It's kind of almost tainted gaming with this horrible sort of shadow, which overshadows like gaming as a whole, like the industry. Constantly, the media's like feeding the console war with its articles.
People game, like, okay, like you said, like a game from the 80s, right? So, like, don't you think it might be because like more people have been playing games for a lot longer than they were in the 80s, and like, you know, games are so far to a point we just expect certain things to be in the game, whereas like in the 80s and 90s, you just you know. I think standards have definitely like gone up.
Yeah, of course standards have gone up, but we're too focused and we're too worried what? And
no, it's just, I think people's standards have just gone up because, you know, people have been playing games for a much longer time than they were back when, you know, Nukem 3D was coming out.
From what I've seen, people's standards of what games should look like has gone up, but how they play and if they're fun hasn't.
Games, as far as graphics go, it's usually just tied to whatever's expected at the time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I meant by our standards going up. Is time progresses, graphics and stuff progress, technology progresses. You just kind of expect it.
Like, I mean, everyone's standards is going up, but I guess now, you know, people's standards just aren't being met.
I would gladly go back. I would gladly go back to 720p and all that other stuff, and play on my GameCube and have all these games come out on my GameCube if they were fun. It's enjoyability.
That are fun.
Thing is, though, you guys mentioned that, like, you know, us, a lot of people's standards have gone up, and where I do completely agree with you, at the same time you must take into account that, like, take a lot of media sites, they do push down your throat 1080p, 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 and it just hits you hard. Like, a lot of people think that's the norm, and that again, once again, is a media-fueled hate towards anything that isn't 1080p, 1080p, 1080p.
I don't think that's the big problem anymore. I don't think that's what people like. That was like a thing like a year or two ago, because that's what people are expecting. I mean, you got people buying 1080p televisions, and like, I mean, now you got like people buying 4K televisions for machines that can't even play. I don't think that's really the thing right now. I think if the media is like pushing anything across, I think it's more of like a different type of narrative as far as like, gaming feminism.
Sad, you're breaking up.
Yeah, you're breaking up, buddy.
You're breaking up really bad. You're breaking up.
Hello?
Yeah.
What was the last thing I said that was coherent?
Media focus, like, it's not 1080p, it's something else. Oh, he dropped.
Yeah, what BD Drew said, what the Welsh Gamer said, and Welsh, this is Erock8150. Thanks for joining us once again. Sorry about the delay. What you said?
Oh, not a problem, mate.
What you said? I've waited to finally talk to you, man. I'm a huge fan of yours. What you touched on was what I was talking about earlier when this podcast started. That I'm so sick of all of this talk about hardware, and this nuclear arms race to have more powerful hardware. More powerful hardware to do what with? Where's the creativity that I saw in Fable 1? Where's the creativity that I saw in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic or Donkey Kong Country? Or to be more recent, the creativity that I saw in Sunset Overdrive, a game that
That's all there. Have you played Metal Gear Solid 5?
I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 5.
Have you played Undertale?
Let me
right now.
I know there's a lot of creativity out there, like Ori and the Blind Forest, but those games really aren't being talked about. What's being talked about is Call of Duty. Call of Duty being in 1080p. Call of Duty. Once again,
that's not what's being talked about.
How does Call of Duty end up being the number one selling game of holiday 2015? What is that saying about gaming? I just don't understand it.
Sass, you need to broaden your horizons and play better things.
No thanks. I will, like Solid Rev said, I will quit gaming before I become a Call of Duty zombie, looking for these multiplats, looking for these multiplats to drop every other month. This collection of never-ending multiplats, the 19th Assassin's Creed. No, thank you. Give me Sea of Thieves. Give me the next Fable. Give me something I can get sucked into, or else there's no need for me to be a gamer anymore, Sam. Okay. There's no need for me to bother.
And don't be a gamer. I don't know.
Take over and destroy the podcast.
What's that?
Who destroyed the podcast?
Just hold up. What I think is happening is, so we had, let's just say our gaming industry was around 20 million fans. I don't know, 10 years ago. 20 million fans, let's leave it at that. And they were more or less hardcore, because if you played video games back then, you were more or less hardcore gamer. There weren't a lot of casual gamers. Pretty much the entire audience was there. And when we also grabbed a casual audience, and technology became more affordable, and so did gaming. And then you had this flood of huge amount of casuals just joining in, and they're not part of the hardcore market anymore.
Well, I think.
What I mean by casual gamers is those people that are going to end up buying the Call of Duties, the Assassin's Creeds, and the Destinies. You get what I'm saying?
But that's like 90% of like your console base, though.
Yeah, right now.
That's 90% of the consumer base for consoles. So I mean, like, I don't know what all this hate for multiplats is. I think it's silly. I mean, just like,
Well, it's not stealing. It's justified.
Call of Duty is the most popular game. It's just what people want.
That's because it's
games.
it will drag a casual into being a hardcore gamer. That's
It'll just be
that enjoyable.
I'll be honest with you. Like, what drew me into like buying a new console was like Call of Duty 2 for the 360. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Because like the game was in like 60 FPS, like graphics were amazing. I was just like totally enthralled.
And that's everybody is a casual at first, and before casuals they only get games that are what we define as for casual gamers, like the Call of Duties and stuff.
A casual gamer is a person who plays video games less than, like, they don't really care. They just play whatever.
They just play them. They're not there for anything else. And more or less, I envy them because they're there just to play the game and enjoy it. Now, I'm guilty of this too. I have been drawn into that black hole of more or less seeing games for more than what they are. As a kid, I was just playing them because they were fun. Now I see them for, oh, is this in the game? Is it being played? Is the gameplay this way? I've more or less been spoiled by the gaming industry.
I just play games if they're fun. If they're not fun, I'm not going to play them.
But I blame more or less the casual market for the decrease of...
If you want to blame anyone, blame Zynga and blame Candy Crush Saga and all those other shitty games.
THQ. THQ. Anyone remember that publisher? THQ?
THQ.
I think a lot of people remember THQ.
How do I put this? If that was on the software title or whatever when you pulled up the game, you pretty much knew that you were going to be playing somewhat. To me, I was going to be playing somewhat of a quality game. It was just there.
Like Saints Row 2?
Something like that.
Spilt. We are running out of time. Spilt. We have to move on to the next subject, and the next subject we have not touched on is Microsoft's Elite controllers sold out everywhere.
Wow.
BD Drew, the Welsh gamer, did Microsoft underestimate the demand of their new controller?
Yes, this is Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story 1 all over again. I mean, I haven't picked one yet. I picked up one yet myself, which I absolutely will. Like, what an absolutely gorgeous looking controller. But even I'll admit, I didn't expect it to sell all that well purely because of the price tag. But the more I'm reading about it, they definitely seem to underestimate the demand of the Elite controller.
Yeah.
Whatever you can do to get a leg up in the game, you know?
They said that they made, I think it was 500,000 Xbox One Elite controllers at launch, like, ready to go.
How much is that thing again?
150.
150? Dude, you could buy like a kick-ass keyboard with that. You could buy guns with that money. There's like so many things you can buy with 150, and people are buying a game controller with paddles on the bottom. Like that's so crazy.
I get what you're saying, mate, but I suppose to a degree it depends. Like if you are a Xbox only gamer, hypothetically, no, that's putting a label on it. You know, if end of the day, if you do like getting down and dirty on a bit of long term hourly, putting the hours into your online multiplayer competitively, it is in your best interest if you do enjoy that, if you've got an Xbox, to probably get one of these Elite controllers, because you can customize the paddles to your absolute personal liking. You've got the thumbsticks to your, you can literally tailor this controller so then when you're putting the hours in, it's just to your personal needs. And to be fair, they've done an incredible job with it. And Yes, of course, you can buy all sorts of other things with that kind of money, but then you could say that about anything. It's like, oh, why buy a chocolate bar when you could buy a can of Coke? You know, why buy a chocolate bar when you can buy a can of Coke? That kind of thing. It's like, you know, you can compare, but if you're into your, you know,
You can buy
invest
two
in hours.
SCUF controllers for the price of one Xbox Elite controller. That's
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
is the
getting.
quality the same?
I would say it's the same, if not better.
Fair
SCUF
enough.
controllers are pretty good. I was looking at like getting one for my PC.
No, well, mate, absolutely fair enough. I mean, each to their own. I mean, I haven't even had my hands on a Elite controller to give my full 100% like opinion on it. But judging from write-ups and reviews and you know, unboxings from YouTube, I mean, it does look absolutely quality. And judging by what I have seen via video, I can see why a lot of people are trying to get their hands on it.
Okay, so my bad for misinformation. It was a little over $1 million that they had made, and apparently they've had well more than 1 million people that have wanted it.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
Wow.
So
That controller to do better in NHL.
I know Smooth picked one up, and oh my god, if he beats me in a video game, I'm just going right there.
If Kid Smooth beats you in any video game, you gotta lay him up, you know.
Oh man. But anyway,
You gotta lay him up.
Anyway, Spilt. Any other subjects before we wrap it up? Because we've been going now for what, almost an hour and a half?
Yeah.
An hour?
About
Okay.
an
Anything else?
No, just we've got a lot of games coming. We're not gonna dive into the subject, but we've got a ton of games coming. I look forward to for 2016. I want everyone to keep their eyes open and don't go and get a game because of a review. Go get a game if it looks fun. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, buy a game if you look at the back of the box art. Like look at the box art of the game and look at like the two pictures on the back of the game. And if you think it's a cool game, you should buy it, dude. Buy the game.
There we go. Guys, before we go, my most anticipated game for 2016 is, of course, Quantum Break. I have to ask, BD Drew, Welsh Gamer, your most anticipated game for 2016?
Mine, oof. It literally has to be a tie between Gears 4 and Quantum Break. Those two games, just wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd give my left foot to play one of them right now. I can't wait.
Nice.
Sad.
Sad.
Yo.
Your most anticipated game of 2016? Don't say moving to Chicago. Give us something else.
Okay. Whatever that new Hideo Kojima game is going to be, if there's anything announced about it, that'll be my most anticipated game for 2016. I guess Metal Gear Online for PC, all the Xbox games that are coming to PC. That'll be interesting as far as what cross-platform is going to be and whether or not you need Windows 10. So that'll be interesting. I don't know. I can't really say there's much more that I'm really like looking forward to other than like playing like ranked games on CS:GO and playing ladder again on StarCraft. Other than that, like not too much. Really looking forward to.
I'm gonna go ahead and give mine. Mine's a tie between Halo Wars 2 and The Division. I love Halo Wars, so yeah.
Nice.
They really need the Halo collection on PC. That should be on PC. I don't know why it's not.
Because Xbox needs something to sell itself, otherwise it's not worth getting.
Yeah, but people are like, come on, no one cares about that. Like people it'll do so like they only have the game from it, right? It'll just get more sales. So
Yeah.
like, why not?
Well, everybody, I will change the title pick later. I originally tried to get it on here before I don't really have an outro yet, so we're just all going to say goodbye, and I will end the podcast. Peace out.
Au revoir.
Guys, thanks for joining us, and BD Drew, thanks for joining us too, man.
No, thank you guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate the invite. Sorry I was a bit late, but if you want me on for any future podcasts, I'll happily join. I had a brilliant time. Sorry I couldn't answer all of your questions. But yeah, that's the B Drew 1111 gamer tag B Drew 93, the Welsh gamer. Out.